Diablo 4 is going full pay to win. And no, I am not sadly joking. It's happening.
While live, somebody told me they received a Blizzard survey about Diablo 4, and Diablo 4 surveys are decently common. This is something Blizzard
True.
does in order to get sort of market information to figure out how they should price their different products as well as receive feedback on the survey. So this wasn't.
I'm not gonna lie, whoever receives these surveys and you're not always clicking the least expensive option for everyone, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Too surprising. However, what was surprising was some of the things they stated were within the survey. So I actually did a little digging in order to find out if there was any truth behind this, because some of the claims were things like extra stash tabs or even something that might be considered
Might be. He wants to say pay to win. Bruh, this is 100% pay to win.
pay to win going into the next expansion. So we're going to dig down into this and see what information is actually available on this. So the very first thing I did was search
Oop, wait a second. Bam.
Diablo 4 Reddit for surveys. I was able to pull this up from 10 days ago saying they received a Blizzard survey about the Diablo 4 expansion up to a $90 price tag, and this was correlated with the data that I was told. Now, if we scroll down here, the person actually states it's from $40 to $90 and that there was actually extra stash space available as well as a functional companion, whatever that means, right along the other things you would assume like battle.
Functional companion, essentially, it's a pay to win thing. It picks up your things, you can repair from it, you can salvage, you can sell items. It's pay to win.
Pass and premium coins, etc. that normally comes with the more expensive versions. So there was one Reddit post about it. That, in my opinion, is not enough. There was no screenshots.
Bro.
There was no proof behind this, so I continued to dig. I was able to find this from.
By the way, these situations are the things that I constantly warn every one of you about. Whenever you have the opportunity to tell a developer they did a good job, don't. The moment you praise developers, this instantaneously happens. And if anyone asks you how good the game is, you tell them it's shit, it's bad, and the devs should fix it and not even sleep until they do. The closer developers of a game are closer to deleting their Minecraft characters and having mental breakdowns, the better your game is gonna be. The moment you let up and say, yeah, Season 2 is actually pretty good, bam. Bam. Why? Because you praise them. You do not praise developers. Developers are animals that are supposed to work for you. And the moment you praise that animal, then you're no longer superior. You're below it. You have showed weakness. So if anyone ever asks you, is Diablo 4 good? You ask them, are you a dev? And if they are, you threaten them, okay? Because of how bad the game is. You never tell a dev the game is good. Because this is the consequence. Pay to win. Instantly.
3 days ago, where he quotes about early access to a functional item and leaves a screenshot. Now, if we actually pull up the screenshot here, you're going to see that it says early access to a functional item. Early access to a functional item in game, such as a unique piece of gear or legendary aspect before it's released during the expansion. Click here to see an example. So this would be a unique or legendary item, and then additional stash space. These are both two brackets, and if you're not familiar with how this works, these are effectively items that they would be selling or perks that they would be selling in association.
Yeah, it looks very strange because there's 4 options and all options are kind of unique, so it's actually really hard to gouge things. We saw the full thing here, and actually this seems kind of believable. One, because early access to items has been a thing that has been done in games before, not even only in Destiny 2. It has been done in games way before that. And second of all, the unique access is in the cheapest and most expensive bundles.
If you purchase the expansion. Now, if you guys remember the very first survey that we had before the game even launched about the Ultimate Edition, etc., that got translated, it looked very similar to this. So that part at least remains consistent. However, I was not 100% believing this, as this is a typo. It says suck as a unique piece of gear. But if you go to a screenshot where he would have copy pasted this from, it says such as a new unique piece of gear, etc. So I was wondering, I'm like, is this actually real or not?
I mean,
This was also posted on November 23rd.
Now, the reality is we do not know, but it might as well be. There's a good chance. Again, one of the best things of Diablo 3, by the way, is pickup radius, which we don't have in this game for some reason. Strange. And what is pickup radius? What is the ability to supplement pickup radius with? A pet that picks up things for you. Now, ain't that convenient?
So it's fairly recent, and the pricing, he says, goes anywhere from $40.99 to $99.99. This gentleman links to a YouTube video and then also says he got an email from the survey, but he couldn't participate because he was in the EU. If you follow the link, it actually takes you directly to this video, which is Blizzard's latest survey is very concerning by Belluar. This is him right here. It's his normal channel. And if you actually scroll through and watch...
It's his strange, awkward jacket that's supposed to make him look cool. I have no idea how that's supposed to work if you have a beard.
His video, I'll have a link down below in case you want to watch the whole thing. He has multiple parts of his video where he actually shows more completed screenshots, and these screenshots actually seem to follow the pricing that's mentioned in the previous threads. Now, in the video, he claims that a little birdie told him, or basically somebody just leaked the survey, and that the survey itself is NDA'd for the people that received it. I never received this survey, so luckily I get to talk about it as well. It would make sense they probably wouldn't send the content creators surveys that have stuff they probably don't want you to talk about. The first screenshot out...
Well, if it's under NDA, it doesn't matter, because a content creator is not going to risk breaking an NDA from Blizzard. Okay? Imagine if you're a Diablo 4 channel on YouTube, and you're like, okay, here's the NDA, I just broke it, whoopsie-doopsie. And, dude, Blizzard's just gonna ban you off of every game, and congratulations, your life's over. Yeah, not worth it, probably.
This video here isn't too concerning. It shows the price of an expansion, though I would like to see the price of an expansion like $39.99. They do have ones for $49.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. An expansion well, honestly, Reaper of Souls was also pretty expensive. And you see, the problem is this is not out of character for Blizzard, because in Diablo 3, the Necromancer alone costed somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks, if I remember correctly. I did not buy it. Fuck that game. But, still, if just the Necromancer class costs 30 bucks, then, yeah, full expansion from Blizzard is easily $100. That's not even close.
$9.99 being the cheapest of the options, including hero skins and mounts that evolve with achievements and some bonus credits, the normal digital type of stuff you get. This actually didn't seem to be that big of a deal. The price would be the debatable one.
Now, you see, the thing that makes me think that this could not be real is the fact that there's 4 options, and these options make absolutely no sense. For example, there are situations where the option D doesn't have everything filled. If it's the most expensive one, it should have everything. The way that they should be gouging is which one, how do you want to sell things is, well, there's a chance they still are doing it, depending on the options, because every option here, by the way, has a weight attached to it by Blizzard, and they're gonna see. For example, if a hero skin is only available in one of these, well, a hero skin is available in 3 of these, but only unavailable in one of these. If the skins matter, people are not gonna pick option A. If skins don't matter, people are gonna probably pick more option A. You can weigh everything here, and you can get pretty accurate results no matter what. But this does seem a little bit strange, considering option B is more expensive than option A. That's something that should not happen. These things should all be equal, but usually it works like this. The lowest costing option is just the baseline, then it's a little bit more advanced, and then it's more advanced. And that's how you figure out which is the maximum price that people are going to spend on the maximum value that is perceived. So, typically it's not going to be the highest one. Typically it's going to be like the second highest one or the third highest one, depending on your options. So, it's probably going to be the $70 or $80 one is going to be the winner here when people account for it. But depending on how much options you have here, you can kind of figure out what people actually value more. But from another standpoint, it doesn't make sense because, dude, you might as well just send out a survey what people like more. Do they and they should like rate it on a scale most important, second important, third important, and you can do the same thing here. Okay. So, that part seems fake because this is just too complex for no reason if you actually want to acquire data. But the options seem very real for a Blizzard game. Even the pricing seems very real for a Blizzard game.
This actually didn't seem to be that big of a deal. The price would be the debatable one in it, but nothing of major controversy outside of some cosmetics and the price of what an expansion should be. But the second screenshot that he shows is sort of confirmation of the other Reddit threads and the other Blizzard survey threads that we had seen before, showing that this is actually early access to an item, and the wording, etc., follows along the same lines as this leaked screenshot. And this leaked screenshot came out on the forum before.
Yeah, and this again, by the way, with just seeing the start here, I would not have said what I said. But I already know how this part looks because I have seen it in Bellier's video. So, the thing that makes me think that this could be actually gouging for the best package deal in general is the fact that this... Well, this is the second most no, this is the third most expensive thing. This is the fourth most expensive thing. It doesn't make sense. Unique legendary aspects. It makes very little sense. Because if they wanted to do it in that way, the complex way, the reality is that this unique would be in column B because it's the least expensive. The uniques, the big ones, would be in the most expensive and the least expensive if they wanted to do it that way. So that's what makes it kind of hard to believe that this is real to a degree.
He posted the video.
Or Blizzard may have a completely different view on things, because it's really hard to tell. There's ways to make this actually a legit survey, depending on what they how they're structuring value.
And did not include the rest of it. So we can sort of confirm that this looks like at least a legitimate screenshot, considering the guy cropped out this little bit for his forum post and Bellier has the rest of it around it. So the triangulation of the survey seems to be accurate. I can't confirm it myself because, again, all we have is other people's word. And if you actually Google Diablo 4 expansion survey leaks or whatever, it's actually fairly hard to find these screenshots. So all we really have is a Reddit post, which was 10 days ago. We have the forum post here, which was just about 3 days ago. And then we have Belluar saying that he got confirmation from somebody else that sent him a survey here 2 days ago. And
by the way, I just want to mention also how actually easy it is to fake this. So you just have 3 different accounts with 3 different names that don't relate to one another, and you have the whole thing. First, you mention what's in the whole thing in some kind of, forum post, that this is happening and it's going to cost $90, and then you slightly elaborate but don't give any screenshots or anything. Then you do the second post where there is slight information visible, but it's cropped up and it's only a small bit. And then you do the third post that seems like from another different type of person, where it's everything, and it confirms the first leak and the second leak. You can easily dupe people like that.
All of the information that is sent more or less lines up with each other. 10 days, the 3-day, and the video. They all sort of do triangulate approximately the same data. So it seems somewhat accurate, but there's no way to confirm. Another thing I noticed was that these pricing, the $49.99 to $99.99, is not just for the expansion. People were mentioning this in the thread, like, oh, it's $50 for an expansion or what have you. It includes the base game, or so it does if you look at the actual rest of this video. So this would be the full pricing for both games if you were purchasing Diablo 4 going into it. So that does maybe make the pricing a little better. However, the sticky part in the conversation comes when we start talking about the other side of things, okay? The early access to functional items. I don't think selling a habit of being able to get the items early in the game is probably a very good idea. I also, in particular, don't really like additional stash space being so. There's 1 and 2 stash tabs, depending upon what version you purchase. The concept of selling those stash tabs seems very reverse to what I was understanding Blizzard was promising in terms of stash tabs. We were told it was a technical limitation.
I mean, when does Blizzard not lie about the things that they are doing on one hand, though?
Do the more or less bad coding. So selling the solution to their own problem they created doesn't seem...
Sounds like a very Blizzard thing.
Like a very palpable idea for me, at least personally, when we're looking at this. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of people would probably agree with that take. It's important to note that in this video here, some of the options they show do not include the base game, do not include additional stash storage, and do not include the early access to a functional item. So if this is a real survey, let's just assume it's a real survey, because it does seem like there's multiple people that can kind of appeal to saying this is what they're receiving. If this is a real survey, then this is what I would say they're fishing. They're out there trying to see what people would like, what they could get away with. I mean, like any company really would here for marketing. And I would highly doubt, or at least Copium would highly suspect that they do not try to sell additional stash tabs. That seems like a terrible idea. They're just...
Why not? Currently, everyone's as happy as with Diablo 4 as it's possible. Why not? I mean, what are they gonna do? Release a shitty season 3 or an expansion, and then wait for people to get mad because the game's bad? No, you strike the anvil while it's hot. And it's never going to get hotter than this.
Just trying to see what people think about the idea and then sell early access to functional items. These would both be horrendously bad ideas. Also, the one part that doesn't make sense to me is I thought they already mentioned during BlizzCon, didn't they actually?
Also, the reason why selling items like that is actually pretty smart is because of the success of the ball lightning source. Like, people now know, people now understand that it is that, you know, every type of magical affix like this that's really unique or whatever could be the most fun thing in the game. Because playing Ball Lightning Source is probably super, super, super fun for a lot of people. Too bad I didn't actually do the Ball Lightning Source when I first discovered it, because that's why I started playing Season 1. Okay, that's why I started playing Season 1. I played the Sorcerers just to make a Ball Lightning Source build that revolves around you. And I didn't because I got the affix, I put it on, and it roughly took me less than 2 seconds to cast it once and say, wow, this feels fucking horrible. I do not want to level with this. I do not want to play with this right now. Maybe this works in the late game. And yeah, in the late game, it's beyond amazing. But right now, I don't even want to live my life like this.
Actually say that when you purchase the expansion, like, you can go right into it with your friends. Like, you're not going to have to worry about the other side of it, which made me think that the base game was already announced as being included. Maybe that's not what they meant. Maybe they meant you can just skip that story and then go into start the story, you know, of the expansion, and you don't have to do the previous campaign. They could have meant that, but I also took it as like, you buy the expansion, you get the full game, was also how I was seeing that. So some things in this survey seem to me like I already thought we had decided upon this. So maybe the survey...
Everything can be changed, my dear sweet summer child.
Is real, maybe it's not. It seems like it is real for multiple people, I'm saying, but if they're actually considering selling early access to functional items, depending upon which tier you decide to purchase, I don't like that. And if they're trying to sell additional stash tabs, I don't like that either. We should be getting additional stash tabs, because the problem originally, as was explained, was a coding issue. You're loading everyone else's stash tabs all of the time because of the way trading works in the game. Is effectively bad coding. So
no, because of how Blizzard just works in general.
Why would we sell the solution to bad coding with our dollars? I don't like that answer. However, on the positive side of things, if the base game is included, especially at that $49.99 price point, if they don't go with paywalling stash tabs, if they don't sell the early access, and they just launch a good expansion $40, $50. It comes with the base game included at that price. Maybe you can spend extra 20.
Dude, there's going to be another situation where Blizzard has to disable spit. Remember that when people just constantly spat in World of Warcraft on people who bought like some kind of stupid overpriced skin pack, and then Blizzard had to save their precious cash cows by disabling the spit emote.
$20 if you want for some cosmetics or something like they did with the Digital Deluxe. I didn't really have any issues with the Digital Deluxe or Collector's Edition or whatever.
By the way, how stupid do you need to be for Blizzard to disable the spit emote in general? You just hide the spit emote to the public. Okay? The person who types the spit emote sees the spit emote, but no one else sees that you spit on someone if they're wearing their crazy, expensive, stupid skin. That's the way you do it, Blizzard. You just don't go disabling a whole emote.
If you want to pay for it, so be it. I paid for it, but I haven't even used the cosmetics even once. So that would be fine, in my own personal opinion. So they could go one of two ways here. And hopefully, at the very best, hopefully this survey is all made up. And none of this is true at all, because that would be preferable.
No, it's probably real. And if it's not, it has garnished so much attention at this point that Blizzard's going to make it real. Okay? Because someone else instead of Blizzard already, got people warmed to the idea of pay to win, so there you go. Anyway, .microtransactions TV, boys, also known as skills. This was Quizzer saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.